welcome to my channel. So today I made a poll on Instagram with a couple of video ideas, and I wanted to see what you guys wanted to watch. So the most popular one was people wanted to know about why I went vegan. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. My journey is kind of all over the place, and I do make mistakes, and I steer away from, okay, it's hard to explain. You're gonna have to watch this video to actually understand what I'm talking about, but I wasn't perfect like from day one, so it took some growth, and now I'm at a place where I really feel comfortable with my lifestyle, and it just feels really natural to me. I just know that this is how I'm supposed to live, and honestly, I feel like this is how everyone on the planet should live. I know it kind of sounds bad, but I mean, veganism is the most amazing thing. I'm so happy that I, transformed into this version of myself now, because when I look back at who I was, it really shocks me. I wish I had some videos and some pictures to show you guys. I literally used to wear a mink scarf, and it had the head of the animal on one side and the tail on the other, and I just thought that I was so glamorous and so, fabulous and blah blah blah. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, how could I have been so delusional? That's the only word I can think of, because I just heard a ghost or something. Like, how could I have ever done that? But anyways, I'm glad that that's the old me and this is the new me. And yeah, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. Basically, how everything started was, I was in a relationship at the time, and my partner was starting a paleo diet, and he kind of introduced me to that. This partner, I swear to you guys, I literally gained like what? I think I gained like 60 pounds when I was with him, something crazy like that, because at my heaviest I was 185 pounds, and that's when we were together. And this guy used to, I honestly feel like, just show his love with food. We would go to all these restaurants, and like, he would literally order like everything, and it was such a fun time. But we both ended up gaining a lot of weight when we were with each other. You know how some people say, like, when you're in a relationship and like you're really comfortable and stuff, you gain love chub. So that's totally what that was. So anyways, he started doing paleo, and then he introduced me to that. And basically I was eating lots of meat and veggies, and then some fruits and nuts, I believe, something like that. And then basically I felt like I should just eliminate the meat, because, so this story is so hard to tell because it goes all the way back to when I was in grade 5. So let me just like start at grade 5. So in grade 5, my best friend at the time started a vegetarian club, and I was the only other person to join her. And she kind of was the one who would tell me, that the animals weren't, treated right, like they're getting killed so that we can eat them. And obviously I found that alarming. Who wouldn't, especially a child? Maybe when you're an adult and you're just so groomed into the lifestyle of killing things just to eat them, you might not be as shocked about it. But a child who isn't really aware that, their chicken nuggets are actually an animal that was living and breathing, and it got murdered in a horrible way and formed into this disgusting little patty that now, this little nugget that now they're being fed by their parents on the daily, and they just aren't aware of it. So when my best friend at the time told me about it, that was the first time I had ever thought about veganism or anything to do with vegetarianism and all that stuff. Anyways, when I was younger, obviously I didn't have that support from my family, because they just weren't vegan. I'm from a Middle Eastern family. We're Iraqi. We eat a lot of lahem, which is meat. It just wasn't something that my family was really into, So fast forward, as I get older, I found myself watching those PETA videos. I found it really disturbing, but again, I still wasn't at that point in my life where I was able to control what I was eating. I wasn't working, I was younger. And so anyways, I just kind of soaked in that information, and I just proceeded to eat all the stuff that, all the stuff that I was already eating. So basically, I've kind of built up knowledge over several years, and I guess one day it just flourished, and then just one day it just like flourished. What a weird word, flourished? Flourished? It flourished. That sounds like such a weird word, but it felt like it fit what I was trying to say. Basically, like one day my knowledge exploded and I finally got it. I guess you could say that. So let me go back to my partner at the time. So I gained a whole bunch of weight and did the paleo, blah, blah, blah. And then, am I the only one who tells stories like this? Like, you're trying to tell a story and then it's like, wait, I should have written it down and then talked about it. But it's been a really long day and I just really wanted to record a video, and my boys are sleeping early so I can relax. But I'm getting off topic again. This happens to me a lot. Okay, let me think. So yeah. So I was eating a lot of meat and then veggies and fruits and nuts, and I just figured, why not just eliminate the meat and just eat fruits, veggies, nuts, and grains and all of that stuff? Because obviously there is so much that you can eat besides beef, pork or chicken, lamb, all that stuff. Like, that is such a small option. It's like a couple of dead bodies that people eat every day versus thousands of vegetables and fruits and however many nuts and stuff there are and grains out there. Like, there are so many food options, and it's surprising to me when people are like, oh, you're vegan, like you just eat grass. It's like, no, I don't eat grass. Okay, I eat wheatgrass powder, but that's different. So yeah, where was I? So yeah, basically when I was at my heaviest, I suffered from migraines, and I had horrible joint pain. Like, sometimes it would be so horrible I would literally just lay in bed because I was just in so much pain. I didn't want to do anything. I was sleeping a lot around that time. My migraines were so horrible, I would just take a whole bunch of Advil and just sleep. And my doctor recommended writing down my migraines, like the frequency of my migraines, in a journal so that I could let him know. And 1 month, I remember I had more than 20 migraines like a day. So like sometimes I would have like literally a migraine for like a week. It was ridiculous, and it really, really affected my life. I worked at a daycare, and I remember being outside and my fingers would just be like locked up in the winter time, like so frozen and like so sore. So basically what they said, I did a whole bunch of tests and all that, and the only thing that they really came back with was, you probably have fibromyalgia, and try these pills and see if it helps. So the pills gave me horrible side effects. I just felt like I was a zombie, and it wasn't fitting my lifestyle at all. So I kind of just figured, oh yeah, and then the joint pain, they said you possibly have rheumatoid arthritis, which totally freaked me out because I Googled it, and of course you see all this scary stuff when you're Googling about, problems, health problems. There were like pictures of fingers that were like all deformed and stuff, and supposedly that's what would happen to your fingers over time if you have rheumatoid arthritis. So I was freaking out. I was sending literally I'm so dramatic. Everyone in my family, I sent them videos about rheumatoid arthritis and pictures, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look what's gonna happen to me, guys. Like, I was just totally freaking out. And now, like, I look back and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, it's so ridiculous. I can't believe I did that. But yeah, so instead of just taking pills and not really being healed, I figured, why not just try to make a diet change and exercise? So I started going to the gym really, really frequently. Sometimes I would go twice a day. I absolutely loved it. I would do cardio for an hour and then weights for an hour. And I lost a lot of weight really fast. So I went from 185 pounds to 120 pounds. And This was before I had kids. And then after I had my kids, literally as soon as I gave birth, my stomach was like flat again. It didn't even look like I got really lucky, I guess, because I know some women have like their bellies kind of stay bigger until like they heal again and stuff, and some of them just stay bigger. But I really got lucky. I was surprised because I was like, I bet you when I have kids, my stomach's just gonna, you know, blow up, because I had been 185 pounds. So I just assumed that my body would just go back to that heavier weight for some reason after having kids. But I really believe that my diet influenced my body, which only makes sense because, sorry, my tongue rings got stuck. Sometimes the bars are still big, so they like sometimes get stuck when I'm talking, and then it makes me talk in a weird way. But yeah, so it only makes sense that your body reacts to what you're eating. So anyways, I, you know, just dropped a whole bunch of weight. And then, so this is the thing. At the time when people would ask me, you know, about like my diet and stuff, I would say that I was vegan, but really I wasn't vegan. And this is something that comes up a lot in the vegan community. People are plant-based claiming to be vegan, and I was one of those people. I would literally I had this jacket from Rudsack, and it was like full-on fur trim all around. And I remember going out one night, and this guy was like, "You're vegan? Like, how are you vegan if you're wearing that jacket?" And then I kind of thought about it, and I was like, this guy's right. Like, I look like an idiot. I'm claiming I love animals, and I, you know, don't use animals, but here I am wearing this jacket with fur on it. And what ended up happening was, as time went on, I just started to watch more documentaries and research more, because, I mean, obviously knowledge is power, and if you have no idea what you're talking about, how can you really fully take something in? Like, when someone argues against veganism without knowing anything about it, it's so ridiculous, because it's like you haven't even looked into it, you haven't even researched, you really don't know enough. So you should probably look into it, and then you can, you know, form an opinion on it. I had someone tell me that cows only eat grass, when in reality that isn't true. They're fed things like soy. The person's argument was that vegans kill more animals than meat eaters because they clear all this land to grow soybeans for vegans, supposedly, and now in that process of clearing the land, you're killing all of the birds and all the small mammals and blah blah blah, bugs, whatever. But the thing that people, you know, this person specifically didn't understand is that when you are clearing all of that land to grow vegetables, those soybeans that they're growing so much of them, not for human consumption, but actually for the animals that they are about to kill for other people to eat, because they feed them soy and things like corn because it's really cheap. A really small percentage of soy is actually grown for human consumption. The rest of it is literally grown to feed the animals that they are going to kill for meat eaters to consume. So that argument doesn't count. And that's what I mean by, like, someone like, you shouldn't just throw things out there. Like, you shouldn't just throw facts out there without actually looking into it, because then it's just like misinformation for a whole bunch of people, and whoever reads that comment might actually think that person is right without looking into it. And then it's just like this whole cycle of, like, it's like a domino effect of a whole bunch of people who are against veganism without really knowing about it. But I'm getting sidetracked again. Sorry, guys. Basically, after learning everything that I learned, my number one, you know, favorite documentary, and I try to play this, like, even if I'm at a party, like a house party, I will play Earthlings. That is just who I am. I try to send it to everyone and be like, watch this. It's really life-changing, and it gets you to look at the truth behind all of these industries and the realities of what is going on in this world. It's really hard to think about it, because it's kind of overwhelming. I really can't believe that this still goes on in our world. It's literally like slavery to animals in every single way possible. Like, we do it to use them for entertainment, for clothes, for makeup, for there's even animal fat cells in our cell phones, like LCD screens, and we eat them. Like it's just, it blows my mind away that that has become normal. It's almost like we're all like zombies, because like you're literally eating a life. And why would you ever want to put death into your living body when you can be eating things that, you know, didn't suffer and be abused and get killed? Oh, my kids are awake. I'm gonna have to get back to recording. Hey guys, I had to put my son to sleep and now I'm back. I had to start a new video, so I'm not 100% sure where I left off. Basically, I feel like this is one of those things that everyone really needs to look into with an open mind and just look into it as much as you can. If you're someone who believes in karma and you would consider yourself a kind, caring person, veganism is perfect for you. That's exactly what this whole movement is about. It's about being compassionate, and I mean, how can you really believe in karma and think that it's okay to be consuming something that went through so much pain and suffering? I mean, you're literally killing a life to eat it. And if your argument is, oh, well, I'm not killing it myself, well, you're paying for it to be done. If people stop buying animal products, they will not be sold. It's just the demand, right? So kind of like how there are more vegan options being introduced now, that's because there are more people requesting it. So obviously there's a demand for it, and these companies want to make money. And if people kind of join together and just put a stand up against all of these businesses who abuse animals and do all these horrible things to them, then it can end. I mean, my dream is that the world will be vegan one day, but at the same time, I mean, if you look at how it affects the environment, it really makes me wonder if we're even gonna ever reach that point, or if human civilization is just gonna disappear and, you know, if it's just gonna collapse pretty much. Hopefully everyone can wake up before it's too late. So I guess I went vegan for health reasons at first, and then it became more about the animals as time passed on. And then as I learned more, it also became for the environment. So I'm vegan for all of the benefits in every way possible. It's just something that makes me feel good as a person. I feel like I'm not contributing to pain and suffering, and I'm not putting it into my body. So I hope you guys kind of got the gist of my whole story, because I know it's kind of all over the place, but I tried to explain it as thoroughly as I could and show you guys how I got to the point that I'm at today. And I literally love everyone. Like, I love people and I care about people, and the only reason why I like to tell everyone about veganism is because I feel like it's so important, and it will make your life so much better in so many different ways. So I really encourage it. My sons are both vegan, and they are so healthy and very ahead in every way, physically, mentally, in, you know, relation to kids their age. They're like little, I don't know, I call them like little Tarzans, and some of my friends call them little ninjas, because their athletic abilities are so amazing. They're 1 and 2, and they rock climb, and they're really good at it. They have insane energy, more energy than any other kids I know, especially kids their age. And a lot of people tell me maybe it's because you feed them a plant-based diet. So I mean, I really believe it. It's powerful stuff. And oh, I didn't tell you guys, after I switched to a plant-based diet, I literally went from having like intense, horrible migraines to rarely ever having them. They were so constant before, and I probably get maybe like 3 migraines maximum a month, Whereas before I told you guys it was like 20 migraines a month. So it's a huge difference. My joint pain went from also being extremely constant, I'd say like a 9 out of 10 for pain, and I have a pretty high pain tolerance. And now I give it a 1 out of 10. In the wintertime, they're still sore. Like they're actually a little bit sore right now, but again, it's only in the winter when it's cold, and it's much less than it was before. Pretty much say it's gone, but really, I mean, I do still feel it a little bit, but it's way less. And my skin also got so much better, which also makes sense. My hair feels a million times healthier, and I feel like it's a lot more shiny, and I felt like my hair wouldn't grow before, and even my friends would notice. They'd be like, holy, like, why isn't your hair growing? And I'd be like, I don't know. And now that I'm vegan, it's just growing and doing its thing. It's my body's treating me well because I'm treating it well, so it makes sense. I hope you guys liked watching that video, and I don't mean to offend anyone that isn't vegan. I'm just trying to tell you all the benefits about it and hoping that you'll make the switch. I recommend you guys also watch the Game Changers. I'm gonna link the Game Changers and Earthling in the caption below. I'd love it if you guys checked it out, and if you did, leave a comment, let me know what you think about it. I love talking about veganism, so if you want to DM me or message me on Facebook, go for it, because I will teach you whatever you want to know and answer any questions you might have. I'm really passionate about it, if you haven't noticed, so it's something I love to talk about. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you did. You don't have to, but I'd like it if you did. And I'd love it if you put a thumbs up. That would be also super great. If you feel like sharing this video, go for it. I was putting my boys to bed and I realized I forgot to add in this part, so I came back downstairs to record it. I look tired because I am tired. Sometimes I'm in there putting them to bed for like 3 hours because they're just so used to me. And I don't just let them cry it out. I like stay with them until they actually sleep, and I'm trying to talk more quietly just so they don't wake up again, because they wake up a million times and I don't want to go back and put them to bed again. I just want to record this video and get it over with. Hopefully you guys can hear this because I know I'm being kind of quiet. So with both pregnancies, so in the beginning of the video, I mentioned that I haven't been perfect, you know, throughout my journey. Before, when I was plant-based, thinking I was vegan, but actually I was plant-based, I always said that when I'm pregnant, I'm never gonna go back to eating, you know, animals or animal products. And with my first pregnancy, after 2 months, after the first 2 months, I had lost 10 pounds, and I was throwing up like every day a lot. And I found it hard to, you know, keep food down and whatever. And for some reason, all I could crave and keep down were, this is horrible, I'm so embarrassed to say this. I don't even want to tell you guys, but I mean, I've said it before, so it's not like no one knows. But it's just so disgusting. It's literally McDonald's double cheeseburgers. I was eating that, and I just went back to eating anything. So I was literally only plant-based for the first 2 months of the pregnancy, and then I ate everything. And then the day I gave birth, I went right back to being plant-based. I had no problem when I wasn't pregnant, which is so weird, I know. And in my mind, I always wanted to make sure my kids were vegan from conception. So, I mean, I failed them in that, and I'm so embarrassed and like disappointed in myself for it. I was going through a really hard time in my life during both of my pregnancies. So, I mean, I know that's not an excuse, but I'm just trying to, you know, validate it a little bit more. I can't really go into it too much, but I mean, there were just lots of issues, and I feel like had I not had those issues and had I lived a different life in a way, I would have stayed vegan or plant-based during my pregnancies. I don't ever plan on having more kids, but let's say I did, which I'm not going to, but let's just say for, you know, argument's sake or whatever, I would definitely make sure that this time I'm fully vegan. Like, there's no going back for me. Like, at this point, I've just like reached a point where like now I'm fully aware of everything, and it means so much to me now. I wasn't like at this point before, so nothing could ever make me go back ever again. And I feel like I've learned a lot more about the animals side of things, whereas before it was really just more about the health and all the benefits that I was getting, you know, weight loss, less migraines, joint pain, skin, hair, blah, blah, blah. It was just like all about me. And I feel like once you learn all of the other benefits that come with being vegan, then it's one of those things where it's like, how could you ever go back? Like, but yeah, I'm hoping I'm not forgetting telling you guys anything. I was like brainstorming about the video. I'm like, did I say everything that I wanted to say? So hopefully I did mention it. I don't know. I'm so tired. I know my hair looks ridiculous right now, but I'm just recording anyways. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions about my, you know, my vegan journey and whatever, feel free to ask me and I can answer for you and let you know whatever you're curious about. So now I'm actually gonna go because it's time for me to sleep. Bye guys.